Have you ever grinded for years toward one big goal, only to finally reach it and still feel completely burned out and empty inside? That exact hollow feeling sits at the heart of Pixar's Soul. Joe Gardner just played the gig of a lifetime with jazz legend Dorothea Williams. The crowd cheered. His name lit up the marquee. He had sacrificed years for this moment, teaching middle school band by day, practicing obsessively by night, turning down everything else life offered. This was supposed to be the breakthrough that finally made everything worth it. The audience went wild. His name shone bright outside the club. He finally made it. The big break every hustler dreams about. Then he turned to Dorothea and asked the question that broke him. What happens next? She told him they would just come back tomorrow and do it all again. Joe walked out into the night alone. The excitement faded fast. He felt nothing but exhaustion. After all those years of grinding, he was still burned out. This is not just a movie scene. This is modern burnout culture hitting millions of us right now in 2026. You know the feeling. You are the one answering emails at 11 p.m. while your partner sleeps. You are the one telling yourself, just one more project, one more raise, one more milestone before you finally rest. You are the one doom-scrolling career advice at midnight, wondering why you still feel behind. Joe Gardner is you. He is the perfect symbol for every adult trapped in hustle culture, where rest feels lazy, where someday is the only future you allow yourself, where you keep pushing, because stopping means falling behind. We like to think Soul is a lighthearted film about jazz and discovering your spark, but underneath the animation lies a much harsher message. It is a warning about how burnout culture quietly steals your life while promising the payoff will come later. Joe spent his entire adult life in deferred living mode. He believed real happiness and peace only existed after the big break. Everything in the present was just something to endure until then. His own mother tried to warn him. She said, "You cannot eat dreams for breakfast." Joe answered without hesitation, "I don't want to eat." How many times have you done the same thing? Skipped meals, skipped sleep, skipped real moments with people you love because the grind felt more urgent? Burnout culture trains us to believe that if we just work harder, sacrifice more, and optimize every hour, then one day the exhaustion will finally lift and we will feel satisfied. Joe believed it too, until the night he achieved everything he ever wanted and still felt burned out. This is what psychologists call the arrival fallacy, the dangerous belief that once you finally reach your goal, the burnout will disappear and lasting happiness will arrive. But it rarely does. Your brain has an even tougher trick built in, hedonic adaptation. No matter how big the achievement, you adapt to it quickly. The excitement wears off. The new success becomes your normal. And before long, you are right back on the treadmill, feeling just as drained as before. That is exactly what happened to Joe. The dream gig did not fix his burnout. It simply became the new baseline he immediately started questioning. Even the director of Soul, Pete Docter, was wrestling with the same feelings while making the movie. After years of massive success and multiple Oscars, he still found himself asking the same question Joe asked that night. Is this it? If you want honest answers about burnout culture, do not ask the people at the top. Ask the people who have run out of time. Palliative care nurse Bronnie Ware spent years with patients in their final weeks. The most common regret she heard from men was heartbreaking and simple. "I wish I hadn't worked so hard." They missed watching their children grow up. They missed deep connection with the people they loved. They burned out their best years chasing a version of success that never brought the peace they expected. And the regret that cuts deepest for anyone stuck in hustle culture today is this: I wish I had let myself be happier. They realized too late that they had spent decades waiting for happiness to arrive someday, instead of choosing it in the small, ordinary moments they kept postponing. Here is the quiet irony in Joe's story. He already had the answer the whole time. Every time he sat at the piano and truly played for the love of it, not for the gig or the recognition, he felt completely alive. Time disappeared. He was fully present. That feeling is what real peace actually feels like. But Joe kept treating the big break as the prize, instead of recognizing that the playing itself was the prize. A major Harvard study revealed how much we lose when we live this way. People spend nearly 47% of their waking hours with their minds somewhere else, instead of being present in the moment. and a wandering mind is usually an unhappy mind. That is why 22, the young soul who ends up in Joe's body, becomes the teacher Joe needed. She finds real joy in the simple things Joe had been ignoring for years: a slice of pizza, the feel of fall leaves, just walking through the city. Joe tried to brush those moments off as unimportant, but 22 understood something critical. Real life is not waiting for you after the next big achievement. It is happening right now in the small moments you keep putting off because of burnout culture. In the end, Joe finally sees the truth. His most meaningful memories were never from the big stage. They were from playing piano with his father as a boy, walking barefoot on the beach with his mom, and enjoying a simple slice of pie. He pulls ordinary objects from his pocket, including a maple seed pod, and suddenly understands their quiet beauty. The film never tells you to stop having goals or ambition. Dreams give us direction, but it delivers a clear warning. Do not put your entire life on hold until you arrive, because the present moment is not a waiting room for your real life to begin. Your real life is unfolding right now while you are busy grinding for the next thing. You can finally get your name in lights and still feel burned out and alone if you are not actually there to experience it. Joe tried to brush those moments off as unimportant, but 22 understood something critical. Real life is not waiting for you after the next big achievement. It is happening right now in the small moments you keep putting off because of burnout culture. In the end, Joe finally sees the truth. His most meaningful memories were never from the big stage. They were from playing piano with his father as a boy, walking barefoot on the beach with his mom, and enjoying a simple slice of pie. He pulls ordinary objects from his pocket, including a maple seed pod, and suddenly understands their quiet beauty. The film never tells you to stop having goals or ambition. Dreams give us direction, but it delivers a clear warning. Do not put your entire life on hold until you arrive, because the present moment is not a waiting room for your real life to begin. Your real life is unfolding right now while you are busy grinding for the next thing. You can finally get your name in lights and still feel burned out and alone if you are not actually there to experience it. The real tragedy is not failing to reach your dreams. It is reaching them and realizing you burned out and missed everything that truly mattered along the way. So the next time burnout culture whispers, "just one more push," and you catch yourself saying, "I will be happy when," pause, look up at the sky, taste the pizza, feel what is happening right now, because you do not have to wait anymore. You have already arrived. What about you? Are you still stuck in the burnout cycle, telling yourself the next milestone will finally fix everything? Or have you started finding ways to be present while still moving toward your goals? Tell me in the comments. This conversation is important because the years are passing whether we are present for them or not.